Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Health with Dr. Yvette. This is a podcast that aims to correct myths around health. Today I'm joined by Chiza. He's a registrar in pediatrics and child health, and he's also a founder of Adaku FinTech, which is really amazing. I don't know how you manage to do both, to be a pediatrician and to also be a CEO of a company like Adaku. How do you manage that?
It's a very good question. Um, I think the I'm blessed. I would say that I'm blessed to have a very good set of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Friends who care for the vision of Adaku FinTech, and they have been so instrumental to what we're able to produce, be it content on social media, um, you know, working on our web app, and software development, the legal front, analyzing all the legal entities aligned, the accounting aspects of the company. These friends have been really good, and it's been an amazing team. I think they make Adaku amazing. They make Adaku amazing. That is one of the reasons why I think it's been possible to actually do both. And same applies with pediatrics. I think one thing that I love about the community in pediatrics and the Zambia Pediatric Association is that it is designed in a way that we nurture each other. I think there is a lot of nurturing, mentoring. I have great stars to look up to in my pursuit to better understand pediatrics and child health. I think my mentors have been amazing. So I think that really is, I think, the take home
Mm-hmm.
of how I think I manage. It's been great.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
And why pediatrics?
It's a funny story.
Mm-hmm.
I I have people who are my friends from back in med school. Have always known that I loved um, internal medicine, be it cardiology, neurology. Those really intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
Pediatrics was really not actually the first idea with regards to a career path that I would choose, but along the way, the experience, I think that two legends, I would say. I cannot, if I was ever to write my story, I cannot, I have to mention Dr. Matthews and Dr. Namzia. Those two have been amazing with regards to the perspective of the world through their eyes and what they intend to do with regards to changing the landscape. Like, I have not met any other person who's passionate as Dr. Matthews. It's very, very amazing to learn from him. So I think, yeah, that's really the story. So when I met these two people,
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, and now, yeah, I decided to see that perspective of the world, and it's very beautiful.
I've had a pleasure of working under both Dr. Matthews and
Mm.
Dr. Namzia, and to be honest, it actually made me consider pediatrics.
Yeah, like there's just a certain level of finesse that they have. Even Dr. Chiro, like you see their ideology to a discipline. I think above all, the core values that you need to put out. I think when you're pursuing everything in life, like, they're supposed to be valuable in nature. They're not just core values for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very serious about your core, and consistently increase the value of your core. Gold is called gold based on its molecular structure. So you cannot run away from that perspective. If you're trying to sort of grow a certain version of yourself, the core values, the core structures that are deep to your heart are the ones that you need to polish the most, because they're the ones which would determine the other layers with regards to your internal persona, for lack of better words.
Yeah, that's very deep. So today's show is about developmental milestones.
Yes.
What are developmental milestones and why are they important?
So, developmental milestones really, they're milestones, I think, from a very, very simple perspective. They're sort of human beings growing. As you grow, and I think growth is a concept that we all understand. We see trees grow. We see, if you own cattle, you've seen cows grow. There's certain things you expect from your cow, which which is growing, and maybe it's supposed to start producing milk for you. That at a certain age, as the cow grows, it will be able to produce certain attributes, certain developmental milestones. And these really are categorized across a very, very range perspective, because you can have your social developmental milestones. You have where your ability as a human being to sort of socialize, exist amongst other human beings grows. You have a child who's born. When they're born, they never used to talk, and now they now can say a monosyllable, which is basically a word with one syllable, be it ba, da, and then later they grow and now they can say daddy. You get the point. You start seeing that evolution with regards to the child's ability to communicate and socialize. This goes beyond, of course, language. The nonverbal cues that the child will start developing. Emotional intelligence also comes into the perspective. So this it's a very, very broad perspective with regards to the niche aspects. I won't dive too much into them. So yeah, that's just in a nutshell. Developmental milestones are milestones, which which as the child grows, they attain those milestones. They start talking. They start, being able to crawl, being able to run around, being able to build a stack of blocks. Those abilities are really that ideology, for lack of better words, is the idea of a developmental. It's a description of that human evolution. The evolution is not the human growth. Evolution is not the right way. The human growth. Yeah.
Can you walk us through some of the important or key milestones that a child should attain, and at what age?
So let's try to have a brief categorization, so that maybe so that everyone can understand the discussion. So of course, you will have your social milestones. Those are the big ones, right? Your social milestones. Then you have motor milestones. So so just give those big categorizations. So with regards to social milestones, you're looking at the child's ability to socialize. Okay, so one of the first few sounds that your child will make is which will be outside your crying, because born crying.
Exactly. If they don't cry, it's like a big issue. So
exactly, born crying, of course, and that of course has an implication, because when you really think about it, crying is a baby's way of socializing.
Sure.
So even that, I think we'll dive into further, is an issue. So the cry itself will evolve. It will move from just crying at night to evolve to, you know, crying for food, to evolve to crying when you're in an uncomfortable position. You know, then you expect by the time the child is between 2 to 3 months, you now expect your infant at that point to start producing social smiles. So most people see babies smile when they're born, and attribute that to like a small social smile. So the social smile is sort of an intentional smile, like the baby sees you.
Oh, so at this point they're able to recognize
exactly. They can see you, and you can communicate and initiate the smile, and that's the social smile. So you expect that between 2 to 3 months, really. Between the ages of 5 months to so the early ones, you know, will start 5 months to produce 5 to 6 months. We'll start producing monosyllable words. So with monosyllable words, these are words like I said, mama, dada. You know, with it's those small simple lines of communication that they'll start producing. That's about between 5 to 7 months thereabout. Then after that, now you start seeing them incorporate more complex. The language sort of becomes a little bit more complex, where you now have an infant will be saying dada, you know, or water. Water is a bisyllable word, yeah. So you have some children, at around that age, start developing the bisyllable language. Then they move up to creating phrases. Now this is now after 1 year of age, where now your child is able to say "I want." At the point,
that's problematic.
Yeah, I want that. On pointing also. So that was on the social side. So with regards to the motor development, now this is now the ability of a child, a baby, to move and coordinate his body, or he or she, I'll say he because I've got boys, but to coordinate his body in a way that they can exist among human beings. There's a lot of nonverbal cues that we do with regards to communication. There's the ability to walk, to move from one point to the other. Like, those are human abilities that sort of, you need your body to be in full control of your body. So they start learning that. You will notice that they would develop by 3 months. They would have developed very good head control. Within the first month, you expect very good 1 month, but 1 month to 3 months, you expect quite good head control, right? By the time they're reaching 6 months, you expect that the child has started sitting, is comfortable, to balance without someone supporting. With 6 to 9 months, by that you expect such kind of development. Then around 9 months, really, they should have probably started the bear crawl. By the time you're reaching 10 months, the child should be able to get on all fours and crawl. Make the point. That is the motor side of things. So you have those two big aspects of development evolve throughout that sort of period.
Okay. My next question would be, I hear a lot of people talking about their kids. Maybe, let's say they have 3 kids. They'll talk about the last born and say, this one isn't developing like the others because my firstborn was able to sit without support maybe at 4 months. Then my secondborn sat at 5 months, but this one is like 7 months and still can't sit without support. So should you worry? Or I know children vary, but at what point should you start worrying?
Okay, that's a very good question. So the good thing is that in Zambia we have under 5. Okay, sorry. So the thing with the under 5 cards that we have, they have sort of a graph. And if I think the mothers would know that there's those small pictures where you can see the child grow. The reason why that is designed that way is sort of to give parents, curious parents, the ability to track their child's growth. So a delay in any of the milestones that we've discussed really is something of concern to us in child health, because we want to know why the child is delaying. It's very, very important that the child is meeting their milestones, because the number of entities that can be causing that are one that we want to start intervening early. Yeah, with a cerebral palsy, you would want to start, you want to know that this is cerebral palsy early, and so that you can do something about it. Because if you delay to respond to the entity which would be causing a delay in these milestones, you sort of lose out on time to be able to get better results. So the earlier we start intervening, if you have a child who has, for some reason is 1 year old and they can't hold their head up, it's something that requires medical attention, and we are able to diagnose and institute a couple of interventions which are able to assist with regards to the outcomes that you would have.
Okay.
So yeah.
Many people worry about walking and talking and sitting without support. So at what age will I worry that my child is not talking, or my child is not walking or sitting?
Okay. So we'll start with the earliest milestone that I think everyone can look out for. So you expect that, like I earlier mentioned, you expect that between the ages of by 3 months, really, because by 1 month you should have, most children would have attained head control. Like, the early bloomers to the game would have started having, good head control, and they're supporting their heads. If you don't attain that by 3 months, you start getting worried. Okay, this is a child that you want to see more often. If you get the point, you use a child that you want to sort of continuously have health perspective of, and make sure what we call neurodevelopmental assessment in our neuro clinic, where we continuously follow up these children to be able to see that they're reaching the developmental milestones, at least in a way, because the outcomes of not attaining developmental milestones are just that you would have not developed as a human being the tools to exist with regards to what we would look at as normal life. There is you won't have proper social skills, you won't have proper motor skills, and those are the things that we want the next generation. Of course, it's a saying in pediatrics that we're taking care of the children are the next are the letters to a time that we shall not see. Yeah, so those are your little messages to the future. So you want to ensure that that message is well delivered. So I think that's one of the reasons I went very philosophical. I apologize, but
Okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
that is why we should definitely, when you see your child as 1 year, they're unable to crow, for instance, you want to start seeking.
So that's a red flag.
It's a red flag. You have to start seeking 9 months, and by 9 months your child should be crawling. 10 months your child should have started crawling. But if you start seeing, you want to start seeking attention a little bit early.
Yeah.
So at least 12. So the earlier we know, the earlier we are able to do something about it.
And the talking, when do you worry?
For the talking, So there's now the social milestones that we spoke about. For social milestones, we were talking about the crying. I think we had this conversation. We were talking about the crying and saying the mama, dada. I think the initial discussion when we started our conversation, we were talking about the durations when you expect that, and the evolution and the growth. So I keep saying evolution. The growth that you intend to see. You get the point. So, like I earlier alluded to, you want your child to be at least by the time between the months of 5 to 9 months, they should have at least started saying monosyllables, which is mama, dada. By the time they're reaching 12, between 12 months going down all the way to 1 year, 3 months, they should have been at least, you should have started. The early ones would have already started using phrases, and and you should start looking out for. So I keep saying the earliest time you should be able to see this, so that people understand, mothers out there understand that those times, those are the time frames where you should start anticipating some of these milestones, so that you start looking out, you remember to look out for them.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's with regards to speech. If you can be more observant of your child to that period, I think most of the elements that you would anticipate would have been met. And of course, the child continues growing. Yeah, your child continues growing to they're out of the pediatric age, where they sort of, because the idea is to mature into a fully grown human being, right? Which is very complex, because now when we get very, very intricate with it, there's hormonal evolution, where there's sort of the picture of the hormonal profile sort of changes as the child is growing, to allow for certain things like puberty to occur, menarche. You get the point, those nitty-gritties. So those attributes, all have to be monitored. And like I said earlier when I started this conversation, was under 5, I think, from people who are listening, under 5 becomes a very, very important thing. Like, it becomes a very, very important aspect that people should always, there should be a consistency with regards, because of course, then I personally feel like the knowledge needs to get out there. Like, there is need sort of us to talk more about these things on social media platforms and platforms like this one, really, so that there is more awareness with regards to the topic. So yeah, I think that's I really feel very personal about under 5. Yeah. So yes, under 5. It's very important. It's very important.
Working in the malnutrition ward has taught me that there are people out there who still don't take under 5 seriously. So you find that some have missed months, and under 5 card, apart from it showing those milestones, also shows you the weight of the baby. And it also has immunizations, which are very important, and people are still missing those. And it's very sad, honestly.
It is. So I think there is just need for more information to get out there. We need to talk more, because it's really, really a tool. It's as a parent, you find it's very hard to parent. I
can imagine.
It's very, very hard to parent, because you sort of have an experience of the world as a person, but you somewhat, and you're supposed to show perspective to your progeny. Like, it's a very, very, very deep task. Yeah. So, we as parents have a need to know more. Like, the Zambian parents of today need to be more educated about the importance of under 5. Like, because most of these discussions that we're having, really, you're able to to notice certain things and being able to act. So yeah. Yeah, so I think it was a very, very long answer to to your question, but I can't think of a better way to answer that. Like it's a very, very important tool, and we are able to pick out most of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And prevent some
it's
other conditions.
some other conditions.
Through immunization. There's also they tell you what the child should be eating to avoid malnutrition, and people just give babies all sorts of things.
Yeah, but it's a very very hard world.
It is.
It's a very, very hard world. I think, like I said, pediatrics as a choice is an act of love for me, because I sometimes break down, like where you feel emotions are like right there, and like any minute you could just cry, because there is just quite a lot that we're supposed to do. We recently had the cholera outbreak, and that was really transforming for me, because I experienced an outbreak at that scale for the first time. It was a very, very deep experience, and I think there is more work to be done. We have a lot of work to do to be able to change our world. Yes, that's just the best description of that. So yeah, under 5. Under 5.
Yeah. So how can parents support and encourage their children to achieve some of these milestones through everyday interactions?
Okay. So I've been. It's stimulation is one of the answers to that. Also, adequate nutrition is also another answer to that. Then there is the nurturing perspective. So if your child is well stimulated, that means that it's a simple idea of time, right? Time is not a simple idea. I take that. I mean, it's made a lot of philosophers think a lot, but it's a simple idea of time when you think about it. The simplest perspective. If you expose your child to colors, more colors than they would see in their everyday life, you know that your child will learn the colors very early. Yeah. That's on the nurturing perspective. Then now the nutrition, of course, you have to, because this is not a fully grown human being. This is someone who's still growing. So it's different from adults who've reached, of which we don't stop growing, but like after maturity, there's sort of a point where the process of growing sort of slows down. Yeah. Your epiphyseal plates would have fused by then, so you're not getting any taller. And your growth now becomes more of spiritual growth. Internal aspects, and your skin and your body starts to age. So there's that aspect with regards to human beings growing. So yeah, I digressed so much. What were we talking about?
You were talking about nutrition.
Yes. So nutrition. So yeah. So those are the small building blocks. Those are the small building blocks that you have to keep. Like, you have to keep the child. The child needs to continue receiving there's this small, important. In fact, I'll give an example of folic acid. Yeah. So from conception, children need a lot of folic acid, and you know this because. One second, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you know this because, children are like sort of cells multiplying.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when you're conceived, it's one egg
And
one sperm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then coming with a certain number of chromosomes, and and they fuse to complete, the total number of chromosomes, which is a diploid,
Mm-hmm.
organism, right? So then there's more cellular division, which continues. You have phases such as the blastocyst phase, where the number of cells have reached a certain level, a certain number, and now there's sort of, for lack of better terms, stratification in with regards to the functionality of the cells. So some cells start doing this, other cells start doing this, and that you continue multiplying, right? Until I can see a nose, I can see a mouth. Those are the legs and stuff like from one cellular organism.
Mm-hmm.
So that process requires a lot of folic acid, and just giving your child, the mother taking folic acid from the time that before, gynecologists will say, it's even more accurate, you start taking folic acid before you get pregnant. You get the point, like you intend to get pregnant, so start taking folic acid because it gives the mother enough reserves to give to the baby. Okay, so that's just one component, and that goes to an extent of why we encourage that mothers should breastfeed. Breastfeed as much as you can, because if you absolutely breastfeed a child, you have the best, you have better outcomes. I think I was reading an article the other day where they were talking about increasing the IQ. Breast milk increases in IQ by a factor of 10. That's a lot, because when you think about it, that moves you, because when you're talking about the gradations of the IQ scale itself, it moves you from 105 to 115. That's a huge leap. That's a huge leap. So the benefits are a lot from adequate nutrition, because you see how much in every aspect, be it you find the baby is well nourished, the skin is good enough, enough vitamin C for the skin. There is even the type of protein that breast milk has is especially designed for the absorptive systems that human beings have, whey proteins. So that's how intricate breast milk can get with regards to how well it improves the outcomes with regards to milestones. We cannot overemphasize breastfeeding. So it's really a huge component of having a child well nourished. Secondly, of course, the environment. You have to have a stimulative environment for a child. I think with regards to even nutrition, you will notice that sometimes when children get undernourished, they sort of become what we call, I want to find a description for the word, uninterested with their environment, become apathetic about their environment. They do not want,
it's just like
meh. Like you pinch, meh. Like do you?
Like you usually just find them just
you get the point.
seated.
Exactly, and that
Even
is,
if you offer them something,
they'll
they just
like,
look at you.
exactly. So that's how nutrition it's that big with regards to the outcomes that you get from child growth. Yeah.
One thing I've learned just now
Mm-hmm.
is that what we do in antenatal matters.
It
Because you
does.
talked about folic acid, so
Yeah.
it's not, it doesn't start after birth, so it
Yeah.
starts
Way
before,
before. Way
because
before.
the folic acid will help in the
Uh-huh.
development of the brain and
Yeah.
those things. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's because folic acid is like a very vital component of the DNA replication process. And these are cells which are dividing rapidly. Like I said, one organism. Can you imagine the number of cells we have? Like, a lot of cells. Yeah. So, and they all have got different tasks. You've got your neurons. They transmit electrical energy around your body to make you move and stuff like that. So there's so many of them. The billions of neurons we have. Our skin being the biggest organ has got crazy number of cells. So that to get from one cell to get to that, that's a lot of DNA replication, and you want to give as much folic acid as you can get, because your child would definitely grow better.
That would be an interesting
good
study
to look at.
Yeah, to look at antenatal nutrition, and compare to the outcomes of the babies. Maybe follow them up to preschool or something and see how they're actually performing based on their mother's nutrition.
Yeah,
that would be a nice study.
And we need this information. Yeah, we need to know. And that's why I'm really passionate about research. We need answers. Like, we need Zambian answers.
Yeah, because most of the literature that we use is
not ours.
Western. It's really not ours.
Good thing is that I think there are more publications that are coming out. Improving. It's been very, very. We are blessed to really have to read Zambian papers on antimicrobial resistance. Like like this is from us. Like, yes, we're going to give this drug and it's going to work like that. But we need to do more. We need to do so much more. Like I said, there's a lot we need to do to change the world.
Yeah. Do we have any intervention programs for children with delayed milestones?
Yes. So there's under Children's Hospital, we have a department called Pediatric Center of Excellency. They've got a department called DIC. It's called Developmental Intervention Clinic. We have neurologists who are able to, with their teams, who are able to intervene and institute certain interventions which reduce certain outcomes. I'll give an example of cerebral palsy, because I'm very, very it's a very dear disease to my heart. It's something that I think about a lot. So there is an idea of, with regards to cerebral palsy. It's not an idea now. I think it's more of actual fact. Okay, tools have been developed which are able to pick out features from a child who has got cerebral palsy early, like, let's say, before 3 months. Okay, not before 3 months, it was 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
3 to 6 months, and which, of course, the conventional practice has always been to make the diagnosis of cerebral palsy around 2 years. But now you have that ability to, with regards to there are certain visuals. You can make a video of a child for a certain period of time, and then analyze the movements that the child is making, called the breathing movements, and using that you are able to sort of determine that this child has got cerebral palsy. And we are in the midst of an AI revolution. That's something that is very, very exciting for me, because there is now the possibility of using artificial intelligence to be able to detect certain visual patterns. So with I think OpenAI recently announced their latest model, Sora, which is able to convert text into video. So that ability is quite intricate for me. It's very exciting, because that means that, and already I think with GTP4 we were able to take visuals and make them into information. So this is a very exciting journey that I have been thinking about, and we are getting to a point where we will be able to actually digitalize some of these interventions, and people will be able to use such kind of tools to make the diagnosis early. So I digressed, because I'm very passionate about this. But yeah, so with regards to Children's Hospital, you have teams. We have teams, and neurologists are able to work on that, to identify like times when the child has got late. Of course, the whole pediatric system at Children's Hospital is designed that there are points where the health system is able to pick up one of the children who have got signs of delayed milestones, and this is why we emphasize on under 5, and people can now we can monitor and intervene. So the reason why I really went deep into cerebral palsy is because the one intervention which is starting physiotherapy early. Starting physiotherapy early has got the ability to reduce adverse outcomes like scoliosis. So these are like huge benefits with regards to prognosis, because scoliosis complicates to respiratory issues and eventually type 2 respiratory failure is one of the causes. So you want to fix some of these things early. So that's the reason why I can't overemphasize under 5, because like people really need to come for under 5.
Yeah. So for those who are wondering what cerebral palsy is a disorder of posture and movement. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But in the Western world, I see some cerebral palsy patients able to ambulate with a crutch. But in our setting, the cerebral palsy patients that I've seen, they come in a very bad state, where some actually have like the joints are almost fused, and so you can't even move them. Have you seen any cerebral palsy patients who are doing well, like able to ambulate on their own? From my short time at the Children's Hospital, I didn't see any. Or are we not there yet?
No. This is why I said there is a lot to be done. We as health professionals need to get on these platforms. I'm very, very happy to be invited here, and just to be able to have a discussion about diseases, and just having a very informed and educated discussion, because we need to talk more about these things. We need people to be well vested with the knowledge they need. I'll go very spiritual. The Bible says, "My people perish because of lack of knowledge." Yeah. It is that important. So yeah, I have seen some patients who started interventions early, and we are happy as pediatricians. There's that general communication that doctors have amongst each other, and you can tell by even the number of reviews that they're receiving. You can tell, like, okay, my previous colleague said we review late this amount of time later, because you understand that they have passed a certain level of worry. You worry about what you care for. So
yeah, like I worry about this podcast sometimes.
Exactly. We really do worry about what we care for.
Okay, as we wrap up, is there something that you thought I would ask you that I haven't asked you?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, do you have any take-home message for everyone?
Take-home message. Under 5.
Under 5.
Under 5. It is very important that you take your children for under 5. It's a very, very important thing to do.
Yeah,
it sorts out nutrition, it sorts out developmental milestones, all those small bits. You can tell most of the Zambian population is stunted, according to a recent study.
Yes.
So that is something that is a sign that most people are not going for under 5. Of course, like I said, it's a very hard world. There are other attributes that I would say would be the reason thing. But the simple thing of under 5, wherever you are, it's something. No matter how hard it gets, even if it gets hard, as a parent, and I'm speaking from a parent's perspective now, like, try as much as you can to take the babies for under 5, because it will really help. It's good. It's a good thing that has been is enshrined in our current health systems, and we're very thankful for that. So let's do that. That's a take-home message. Then yes, the other message would be maybe a call to everyone in health. Let's be champions of childcare, because, like I said, they're the messages that we send to a time that we will not see. And I think this is more of, taking care of children is a community effort. It's something that everyone in the community, wherever you are, if you have more knowledge about, or you see that there is help you can render with regards to the messages of the future, you should help. I think that's a take home.
And I've just remembered when we had that measles outbreak, most of the children who got measles were not vaccinated against measles. So that just shows you how important under 5 is. So who knows how many. We had some die because of the same measles. Some lives would have been saved just by going for under 5. And we know in Zambia, access to health for some people is still a challenge, but I hope things get better. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was a very informative
conversation.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was
good revision also.
Good revision. Yes, for me as well. Yeah. So I can't wait for you to come back so we can talk about babies even more.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this was Health with Dr. Yvette. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.